Hey everybody, Josh here with a look at another Star Wars toy. And today we're going to do a toy unboxing video. We're going to unbox a 6-inch Black Series figure. This is an Elite Praetorian Guard from The Last Jedi. So let's go cut this guy open. Come on. Alright guys, here we are today with a Star Wars The Black Series 6-inch Elite Praetorian Guard, which appeared in The Last Jedi. And we are going to unbox this guy today. And I'm actually pretty excited about this. This is, to me, these characters and the fight scene they had in the movie with Kylo Ren and Rey, to me, personally, was the highlight of The Last Jedi. And I just thought that was a really great scene. So let's take a closer look at this guy, and we're going to unbox him today again. And before we get that far, I want to just do a quick look at the packaging here. I'm going to spin this guy around so we can get a good look at him. And as you can see in the Black Series, he is number 50. And here on the back, of course, you have a nice little drawing of the character. And of course, there isn't much to them. They have such blank faces. And then you have a quick little description, and I'll go ahead and read that to you guys. As Supreme Leader of the First Order, Snoke was flanked by crimson-clad guardians, loyal protectors encased in ornate armor, ready to defend the Supreme Leader from any threat. And of course, you guys know these are kind of the equivalent to Emperor Palpatine's Imperial Guards. They appeared in Return of the Jedi. They were wearing the all-red cloaks and helmets. And so let's go ahead and unbox this guy. I'm pretty excited about this. These guys are really cool characters. So let's cut him open. Let's do it. Alright, here he is. Alright, and there he is. And of course this guy has one of the bladed staffs. And if you remember from the movie, each Praetorian Guard, or there was a set of each that had a different weapon. And so depending on the guard, they did have different weapons. And this guy has the staff with the long blade on it. Looks very oriental. Something you might see in China. Very cool. Alright, let's pop him out of here and check him out. Oh, man. There we go. Okay, so there he is. And I have to admit, I really like this armor design. I think it's very cool. It's very original. Very nice. Alright, and so let's real quickly run through his movements here. And wow, they put a lot of detail into this armor. The joints, there's, as you can see here, they're like individual pieces. So, very cool. Okay, so checking out his head here, you have up and down and side to side. Okay, and then going through his arms here, and I can already tell there's going to be some limitations to his arm movement due to this armor. So as you see, he's got these like shoulder plates here. And so when you lift his arms up in this direction, you can see that's the limit that you can move them. And then, so you also have the round and round. Oh, and there you go. See, who knew? The armor plates actually pop off. And it actually, I don't know if you guys can see it on camera, but there's a little tiny L2 stamped here on the inside. There you go. And so I'm assuming that means it's for the left arm. But as you can see, there's a little pin on the inside of the plate, and then on his shoulder here, next to his neck, there's a little hole. And I was kind of worried about that, but I guess I think they're designed to come off. So then you get more movement out of the figure, which I got to be honest, I like that a little bit better. So there you go. So you can spin his arm around, and you have up and down movement. And then here, looking at his elbows, if you look in the center of his arm here, you'll see there's two sets of the plate armor that are actually somewhat loose. So there's your arm movement. And if you look at the other pieces, they're solid molded. There's no gap or anything in between them. So that's where his elbow movement is supposed to be. But because of the armor, it's going to limit his movement. And that is about the extent of his arm bending at the elbow. I'm trying to bend his elbow right now, and it's not. That's about all you get, unfortunately. But then you can rotate it. So it does move in two directions, just unfortunately one of the directions is very limited. So then you have wrist movement, and it rotates, and it doesn't really move up and down because, again, the armor is restricting his movement. And then let's see here. So you do have waist movement from side to side, and he can bend forward and back a little bit. And again, the armor of the figure is limiting his movement. So just be aware, if you decide to purchase one of these guys, they do not seem to have the same amount of movement as, say, your typical 6-inch Black Series figure. And so then you have, on his lower part, you have the lower robe, and it is flexible plastic with slits cut in it, as you can see here. And then just to see what's under the armor, if you look, they are wearing black pants and red boots. And I'm wondering, it's starting to look to me like maybe this plate armor might pop off too, but it's not coming off. Okay, well, we don't want to break it. So, looking at his movements, on his legs, you can move him at his hips, and he has back and forth and side to side, and there's a limit to his side to side movement, and again, it's due to the cape restricting it. And then of course you have the knee movement and ankle movement as well. He's got up and down and round like most Black Series figures. Very cool. Okay, let's see how difficult these little shoulder plates are to get on here. Yep, and let me see if I can get this on camera here. If you look, this is the one from his other shoulder, and if you look, you can see it has R1, so that means it's his right side. So let's go ahead and pop this thing back on here. And you can hear it click in there, so it does stay in there pretty good. And it's on there pretty good, but if you go trying to raise his arm above his shoulder, it's going to pop it loose. So you're just going to kind of push it back in there. No problem. And we'll put the other one in here. All right. Okay, I want to see if I can get this guy to stand on his own. Let's see here. Please stand up. All right. Okay. There he goes. And let's, again, take a look at his weapon. And there you can get a little bit closer look at it. And let's see how he holds this thing. Let's take a look at that. And just real quick so you can look at his hands. His hands are in the position, almost like a fist position, so he can hold the weapons. Both hands are weapon. Let's see how well it goes in here. All right. And what I want to try is see if I can get him to hold it with both hands here. All right, and he holds it pretty good. I like it. It's in there nice and firm and ain't popping out. Very cool. Very cool. And for those of you who haven't seen The Last Jedi, there's a scene in the movie where these guys get into a big battle with Rey and Kylo Ren, and it's awesome. It's one of the best fight scenes in Star Wars, I'd say. In my opinion. I thought it was really great. Highlight of the movie to me. Not the ending. Alright, and let's see again if we can get him to stand here. Alright. Very cool. Very cool indeed. And there he is, guys, from The Last Jedi. This is a Star Wars The Black Series Elite Praetorian Guard. And thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. Bye.